Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another video. This one's slightly different from usual. I'm going to basically be giving a tour of a build that I've made, and this build is an audition piece for the Wool Sharks build team. So the Wool Sharks build team are the people that help Stacey Plays with her Bookcraft series. They did the Mesa Valley map, um, good things like that. They asked me if I would build, or Nathan asked me if I would build an audition piece for them to judge to see if they want to accept me onto the team. And this is it. So basically, I did a build about 2 weeks ago, and it was nothing like this at all. Um, and the world got corrupt. I was so close to finishing it, and I was, doing the interior of the last building or something like that, and it just froze. I had to close my computer down. When I turned it back on, the world was no longer there. The file was corrupt, and yes, that was very stressful. But it was okay. I let them know, and they said I could have extra time to do another build. So this is it, and this is different. So this is kind of like explaining. This build is kind of like landmarks, I guess, landmarks and things that are important to me from where I live in the world. So I'm from England, if it wasn't obvious. I live in a place called Bristol, that's in the southwest. So all these builds are sort of from either Bristol or nearby. And I basically did this because, so about a week ago, Nathan one day actually came onto my server because I was showing him some of the things I've built there at the spawn. And I just said to him, I said, "Oh, do you know where Bath is?" Because that was where I was going the next day. And he didn't. He said, "Is it in the tub?" Which was hilarious. But no, Bath is a city. So I thought, well, if he doesn't know where Bath is, maybe I should, build things to sort of explain. I don't know. I thought it was a good idea. So that's what I've done. So hopefully it's okay. So yeah, let's get to it. So the first build, I guess, is this spawn building. I can hear water, I don't know why. Um, this doesn't mean anything, it's just something I built, looks fancy. Nothing more to say. Moving on. Okay, so right, before I show you this, um, this is kind of like a joke. This was just something I built because I thought it was funny. So, um, I go to university and I study conservation and ecology. And basically, one of my favorite animals, other than sloths, of course, is the pygmy hippopotamus, or just the hippopotamus in general, the hippo. I really like hippos. I've got loads of hippo stuff around my house. And at Bristol Zoo, where I'm from, they're famous amongst the conservation world, if such a thing exists, for breeding successfully pygmy hippopotamus. And since I was a child, I've paid to adopt the hippos at the zoo, so the money goes towards the conservation charities. So that's yeah, so that's something that I thought was kind of like important to me. So I decided to build or try to build a hippo, just a little one, in a pool here by Spawn, and it came out the best I could get it. It it looks like a hippo. It looks a bit strange. Um, yeah, don't judge me. So here it is. I had to use custom heads and the dragon egg for the eyes. I don't know. I think it does look like a hippo, but yeah, if hopefully the build team watch this video. If you're watching this and you're wondering why is there a hippo, that's why there's a hippo. That's what it symbolizes. Um, yeah. Also, I've just noticed my sounds are so loud they're gonna deafen me. So I'm gonna turn them down a second. But yeah, that's the first thing. This is meant to be a pygmy hippopotamus. You know, it does look like a hippo. I think. I think it's all right. I'm almost certain I put something here, like plants, and they've disappeared. But never mind. But yes, continuing on. So what I would consider to be one of the most, you know, world-renowned landmarks of the West Country of the United Kingdom, um, is something that I'm pretty sure is probably considered one of the seven wonders of the world, or definitely the ancient world, and that is Stonehenge. So I'm pretty sure this is probably the only thing anyone from sort of America or wherever will have heard of. Um, Stonehenge is, you know, famous. It's so let me show you. I built it. It's not a huge build feat, it's not it wasn't too difficult to build. Um, it's just stone pillars after all and wall and stuff. But I thought, it's important to put in. I've been there lots of times, and like it does here, the road literally goes straight past it. The A4 goes straight past, Stonehenge. And Stonehenge, if you don't know, is just basically a group of stone circles. I think there is three. That's why I built three because I used a picture when I was building this. Um, Three sort of rings, and it was built by uh, well, ancient sort of pagan society-like people um, in Wiltshire. It's about 4,800 years old, and yeah, it's just down the road. And in terms of the build, the hoppers with the fire represent the four seasons, like they do in real life. I tried my best. I tried stairs and other things, and it just didn't look right. And this was the best I could do with the stone and stuff. So I think it's pretty obviously Stonehenge. I don't. I crashed. There we go. I don't know who, you know, anyone from this part of the world anyway that wouldn't realise this was Stonehenge. So hopefully that's obvious. Just while we're here, these lampposts, I don't know, the road looked boring with nothing in it. Just brick. So I just did this. I saw this end portal with the Eye of Ender design on a server ages ago, and I liked it, so I've been using it since for lampposts, the fences, and stuff. I'm using a 3D texture pack, that's why they look like that. Yeah, I think, but yeah, Stonehenge. That's what that is. I think it's pretty obvious now. What should I show you first? Right, ignore that you've just looked at. If we go down here, something else that I guess is quite famous from this part of the world is cheese. Embarrassingly, cheese, cheddar cheese. I'm sure you've heard of cheddar cheese. Cheddar is a town. It's a real place. It's in Somerset. It's just down the road, about a 40-minute drive. I could get the bus there if I wanted. And there's a couple of things other than cheese, obviously, associated with cheddar. There's Cheddar Gorge. So a gorge is like a canyon. That's what this is behind me. Well, it's kind of a cross between Cheddar Gorge and the Avon Gorge. Um, and if you go to Cheddar, one of the main attractions there are the Wookey Hole Caves. And they're what you expect. They're a series of caves. And the caves are quite infamous, or they were infamous, sort of, 100 years ago. And that is because, according to legend, they are home to the Witch of Wookey Hole. And this is a legend that goes back about a millennium, 1,100 years. And basically, the story is that a witch lived in the caves, and she would do nasty things to people that tried to come into her cave. So this is what I've built here. I've spawned in a witch. I think she's named, but I think she's just named the Witch of Wookey Hole to stop her despawning. Um, that campfire is just armor stands that are perpetually burning. Generic witch things. Just kind of, I don't know. Thought it looked right. Um, and just to say about the actual story, the witch, they did find a skeleton in the start of the 20th century in the cave. It's kind of the first time anyone went in. People were too scared before that, and it was of a sort of middle-aged woman who lived in the cave about 1,000 years ago. So, a woman did live here. She wasn't a witch. Let's be realistic about it, because witches don't exist. But she was probably a hag, as horrible as that sounds. She was probably ostracized by the community. So she lived here, and people were scared of her because she was probably very mean. So that's why there's a witch here. This quartz stuff is supposed to be a stalactite, stalagmite on the floor. And there's lots of those in Wookey Hole. So, when I've been there, you have to sort of walk around them. They're everywhere. There's one that's even in the shape of a witch. Um, So yeah, this is what these are meant to be. And there's also water dripping. There we go. There's some dripping from the roof because that's how stalactites form. I just thought that was a nice little detail to add because it, after all, is just a cave. What can you really do with a cave? So I tried to add as much detail as I can. So you got the witch, and then down here. So when you go on a tour of Wookey Hole, when you get to the end, you're sort of taken really deep underground, and you're taken to this sort of vault-looking thing, and there's a sign, and it says "Cave Matured Cheese," and it's basically what you expect. So the most expensive cheese that you can buy, cheddar cheese that is matured for about 3 years in the cave. So this is what this represents. You're not allowed in real life, but this is what I imagine it looks like. Cheese on shelves underground in a cave. I don't know, maybe it matures better in a cave, tastes better. I really don't know. I've never tried it from the actual cave, or have I? No, I don't know. But yeah, these are custom heads. These are cheese heads, and this is wet sponge. And I know the wet sponge drips water, and it did annoy me at first. But then I thought, cheese does sweat as it matures. It gives off lots of water. That's why you can smell it because the odor is carried in the vapor, coming from it. So yeah, I think this looks good. This is obviously the cheese room. Again, not a building feat, but I thought, if you're building an adventure map, you want detailed things like this. They add something to the story, and I can't get out. There we go. So yeah, this is Wookie Hole Caves. So if you're looking around this map, anybody, this is what this is. This is why there's a witch. This is why there's cheese in a room. It's not weird, I promise. And that there, I guess get onto that in a second. So this behind me is probably the the most famous landmark from Bristol, the actual city where I live. This is probably the thing that people from England would associate with Bristol, and it's called the Clifton Suspension Bridge. Clifton is just an area of Bristol, and it's about 150 years old. It's built by Edinburgh Kingdom Brunel, and it's oh my god, it's raining. Do you know that's? I'm going to leave it because no, I'm not. But that is just typical how apt that is because it's raining right now, and it's been raining all day, and it rained yesterday as well. Um, anyway, this is what you expect is a bridge. It's a suspension bridge. It means the main crossing part that I'm on now is held up by, well, I'll say rope, but it's not rope. It's probably like iron, thick iron wire or something like that. And at the time, it was the biggest one in the world. It's not anymore. You can drive across it in real life, and it's much bigger than this. It's much longer than this in real life. But you know, the time I'd had to have spent making a big enough canyon that was deep enough as well so it didn't look flat and all that stuff, I don't think it would have justified the build because all that would have been different was there'd have been more cobwebs and fence. That's it. I don't think it really adds much to the build. So this is what it looks like. The nether brick actually is perfect for it. This is the exact colour that the pillars are, and it is Bath stone on the top. Bath stone is like sandstone, so that's also perfect. So yes, this is what did I just say? This is the Clifton Suspension Bridge, and also the alliums in the gorge. They're not just randomly placed. So I used to volunteer at the Bristol Botanic Gardens, just because it looked good on my resume. And something I learned there was that there's a plant called the Bristol onion that only grows in the Avon Gorge, and an allium is a type of onion, believe it or not. So that's what these represent. These are the Bristol onions. They're, little details, but important nevertheless. So, moving on. Right, this is funny. Bristol hosts, can't speak again. Bristol hosts, I'd say two really famous sort of global events, and they're kind of similar to each other. So, one, which is what Just Panda and Nathan are representing here. Oh my god, look at the stick in the texture pack. Doesn't look like what it was meant to look like. Anyway, one of them is the Kite Festival. I think it's called the International Kite Festival. It's held in August, and basically, it's what you expect. Lots of kites. I went there last year, and they had the biggest kite in the world, which was an enormous sort of tiger thing. And when I say enormous, I mean, the size of a house enormous kite. Not a balloon, a kite. It was just, the wind was lifting it up. And obviously it was held down by a lorry, I think, because you'd have to have some really fast person holding that down for real, because it would have sent you flying into the sky, and it was massive. So here we've got Nathan flying this kite. This kite doesn't represent anything; it's just a kite. Um, it's kind of difficult. I have to put string underneath to stop the carpet falling around. But yeah, I think it's obviously a kite. Yes. Moving on to this. Okay, right. I know what you're thinking. What the hell is this? Right. So I'm not sure how internationally famous this is, but in England anyway it is. This is Gromit, and Gromit is from a film series. I think it's a film. I don't think there's a TV program, but a film series called Wallace and Gromit. And Wallace and Gromit is stop motion plasticine or like clay, modeling clay animation films. And Gromit's a dog, and his owner Wallace is a man, obviously. And why is it floating in the sky? I hear you all asking. Don't lie, I know you're thinking it. Um, basically, so this weekend actually, I'm going on Friday. Bristol is hosting the International Balloon Fiesta. It's the biggest one in the world. Last year we broke the record. Well, we was nothing to do with me. The record was broken for the most balloons flown at the same time. And they're not just balloons, they're sort of, balloons of all shapes. So I've seen batteries, minions, dogs, the house from Up, and I did once see Gromit. Gromit's head floating above my house. So that is what this represents. This is a Gromit balloon. It's being flown by P Dog Wolf, because why not? And I quite like this. I think, someone from England that saw this, they would know straight away this is Gromit. I don't know if Wallace and Gromit are famous, in America or anywhere like that. I'm going to assume they're not because they seem quite typically British, with the humour and stuff. It's quite silly, but yeah, I think this is good. This is one of the, I quite like this. It does look like Gromit, believe me, it does. And then for this clip, I think I'll end with this. So this is just a little detail. Food-wise, something else that's famous with the area from Bath is Sally Lunn buns. So you've probably never heard of Sally Lunn buns, but you've probably seen them. They're basically what all buns are based on nowadays. So bun like bread. Um, they were invented by Sally Lunn in Bath in the 1600s, and the shop is still there. It's the oldest working shop in England, I think. I'm pretty sure it is. I think it says that when you go to there. And in the summer, they have these little green trailer things that go out to like parks and festivals and things like that, where you can, buy the buns. They sell Chelsea buns as well, which is basically the same, just with water icing on the top. And yeah, this is what this is. This is just a little trailer thing. This is the best I could do. Got the wheels. They are green. Um, I can't open it. There we go. Hello, sir. I'm stuck in here now. Great. How are we gonna get out? Well, yeah, this is what this is supposed to be. So I need to get an iron door and I need to click on that to type. I think I'm losing my voice. I'm not certain. Yes, go away. So yeah, this is just the Sally Lunn bun, which is really strange to say, trailer. Parked on, obviously this is the Clifton Downs, this isn't just grass. I couldn't be bothered to bone meal. Don't be ridiculous, how dare you suggest that. Um, yeah, Gromit up there. Anyway, moving on. So, this next build, I'm in the wrong perspective. Do you like my cape? My Minecon cape? I can't, there we go. It's an iron golem. I'm not sure if I like the iron golem really, but you just wear it as a status symbol, I guess. Anyway, this build is about, obviously, I hope obviously, I don't know what else it could possibly be. I'm literally losing my voice. Sorry. Um, yeah, this is the SS Great Britain. So the SS Great Britain is docked in Bristol Harbour. It's a black ship. It's a flat bottom ship. It's about 300 years old. It's not really famous for any reason. It wasn't in a battle or anything like that, or flown by anybody famous. But for some reason now it is famous, and I really honestly don't know why. And when I've been there, the thing I remember is that it was covered in flags. So that's what these heads represent. These are supposed to be flags. It's got like flags everywhere, like draped over the top. So it's like you're in a tent of flags. I really don't know why. And then on board, build wise, got the bucket. Right, right. Don't judge me. This is supposed to be a mop. Okay, I tried lots of different designs. None of them look like a mop. This one doesn't really look like a mop either, but this was the closest. I tried quartz pillar, a head that was a quartz pillar, a hay bale. This was the closest thing without using a custom resource pack. So this is a mop and bucket if you were wondering. Cannonballs. I'm going to sing like Leah Michelle in a minute. Uh, those things, they're not cannons on the side, they're just heads that look fancy. That goes nowhere, I don't think. I think I blocked it off. I did, so you can't die and burn yourself. This, believe it or not, is supposed to be a steering wheel. When I had the 3D resource pack on before, the item frame was a circle, and it actually looked like a wheel. And now it's bugged out, and it's just an ordinary item frame. So I don't know why, but yeah, imagine this is a steering wheel. Do do boats even have steering wheels? I have no idea. I'm going to assume that they do. It's simply just called a wheel. And then below deck, is that the term? You've got sleeping quarters for the crew. I'm pretty sure I didn't put the beds that way round, but never mind. Oh, look, that one's got a black pillow. Oh, yeah, that one's got a weird pillow as well. Strange. Just some storage. There wasn't a lot of space. I didn't want to build anything too huge because I was trying to build lots of different things and fit them into something that wasn't massive. So this is as much as I could fit underneath the boat. Like under here is water, see? So I couldn't really add anything else there. And this is the captain's quarters. So shut the door. I can't shut the. How do you shut? Oh Christ! Imagine the door shut. You just got the glaive and the compass. If the captain's mapping where they're going next. I think there's a clock on the wall around there. You know, generic stuff. Pretty obvious what that is. And then in real life, the boat is docked at the Bristol Harbour site. And Bristol Harbour site is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Very historic, very much still working though. It's quite artisan now. And yeah, this is what this is. So it's called the Underfall Yard, but I couldn't fit that on, so I wrote Harbourside with the banners. And they build things like wooden hulled ships, ordinary ships. They have blacksmiths there, which I'll get onto in a minute. And this is just a boat under construction. It's not painted or added, there's no detail. It doesn't sail or anything. It's just there, to look like, work's going on. Some generic damaged anvil, furnace, cauldron, the works. There's a dog here. Oh, he's looking at me. This is I don't know what this is. This is just generic harbourside dog. And then, so making it personal again, my uncle actually used to run the Waterside Forge, which is next to the Underfall Yard. This, and he was a blacksmith. He was a traditional blacksmith, quite artisan, I guess. Like doorknobs and handrails and things like that. But this is supposed to be the workshop. Got the forge, the anvils. This is some, I don't know, wrought iron being made. Bucket to plunge the smouldering in. Yes, if you were wondering, this is a blacksmith. This, don't look at this. Let's move on. So another event held in the area, not in Bristol, but nearby, is the Glastonbury Music Festival. So I, again, don't really know how famous this is. I think that it is quite famous. I think Glastonbury is up there with like Coachella, Woodstock, things like that. Um, and if you don't know, it's a huge music festival. It's in the middle of the countryside. You have to camp there. You can't stay in like hotels. You have to like stay on the site. So people have to bring their own tents. So this is what these are. Obviously tents. Got a TP thing here. These tents. Excuse me while I die. these tents, right? I don't. Can I like? Oh crap! Right, pretend I didn't do that. Um, this bed's bugged out, I think, because of my resource pack. You shouldn't be able to see this half. Um, but these tents are just command block creations. They're not me. Um, they're from someone. Their YouTube channel's called The Red Engineer. Nathan, when you came on my server and you saw the piano, this is the same guy who made the piano, made these tents. You can sit in them. I think there you go, and do I don't know yoga or something. And yeah, I thought they looked cool from a build design. Just another tent here. And then on the stage, so you've got the speakers, you've got the flags, hashtag love wins, I guess. Um, these are some people I know from. Oh god, it's raining again. This is typical. I'm going to leave it this time. These are some people I know: Snickers, my sister, Rutgers, I don't know, Tam and Sam. And then on the stage, I wanted to do Beyonce. This is why I picked this color because the gold boots, the black leather jacket. I wanted to do Beyonce. I don't know what she'd be singing, but she did headline Glastonbury a few years ago. It was Kanye West this year. But I couldn't find a Beyonce head. I looked for a long time, and I don't think they exist. Someone needs to make a Beyonce skin. Um, so I just put Stacey's head. Stacey is singing "Single Ladies" to the to the crowd, obviously. Single ladies. And moving on. So I've never been to Glastonbury, but whenever I've seen pictures of it, they always have the word Glastonbury written in sort of, I think it's knitted. It's multicolored knitted thing on the hillside, kind of like the Hollywood sign. So this is what this is, Glastonbury. G is a very difficult letter to make in Minecraft, and so is R. But yeah, Glastonbury. And then finishing up, another thing famous with Glastonbury. Glastonbury, by the way, is just down the road from my house. It's about 20-minute drive. I think it's really quite close. Something more permanent at Glastonbury is Glastonbury Tor. So Glastonbury Tor is a monument. It's kind of like a mini church on top of a man-made hill. That's why this hill looks so obviously artificial. Um, and I think the idea is that in the Bible, when it says about Jesus visiting England, one of the only three places he came to was Glastonbury, and he preached from this hill or something like that. I don't know. So yeah, they built a monument here to him. And I've been here, and it is not this easy to go up to it. It took a long time, and I was exhausted. But yes, so this is Glastonbury Tour. So yeah, so that's the last big thing I built. Um, I'll just do a final flyover, I think, now. Yeah, so let's turn the rain off. And I'm using the Sphax texture pack, but I don't think it matters. This isn't the one I built it in, actually. I can't even remember what the one I built it in was, but it looks good in both. I've seen it in default. I thought it was alright. So yeah, just to recap, we got Glastonbury with the campers and the festival goers watching Queen Stacey sing. I'm literally gonna die. I swear to God. What is wrong with my voice? We've got. Oh God, a message just popped up on my screen. There we go. We've got the Bristol Harbour side. We've got the waterside forge, the blacksmith, the underfall yard where they're building a boat. We've got the SS Great Britain, one of the most famous boats in England, other than Victory, I guess. We've got the giant grommet head balloon, and we've got the kites for the balloon and kite fiestas. We've got the Sally Lunn Bun trailer, you know. We've got the I've literally forgotten what it's called, and I've just noticed. Hold on. Wait, is that right? Oh yeah. Never mind. I've just noticed. No, what am I saying? I've forgotten what this is called. Oh, the Clifton Suspension. The Clifton Suspension Bridge. This is the Clifton Suspension Bridge. Obviously, Jacob. Um, yes. We've got the Wookie Hole Caves with the witch and the cheese. We've got Stonehenge. And we've got my hippopotamus. My pygmy hippopotamus here. My friend. I want a hippopotamus for Christmas, obviously. Um, yeah. So I hope, people from the build team watching this, I hope you like the build. Um, this isn't, no, this is different to what I usually build. This, I know it's not huge, but I think it's the detail that makes it. Like if we look at it from above, I put a lot of work into this and a lot of thought. Nothing's just placed. Everything's got a reason, down to the flowers in the gorge and the name of everything, the Glastonbury sign, all of that stuff. Even the heads I thought about. The hippo down there. Um, so I hope, you can appreciate that. I don't know what the other applicants have built, how big their builds were, how detailed, if they were sort of role play, adventure map things. I mean, I guess this could be an adventure map. Um, the reason I didn't build anything else is because I really couldn't think of anything else to build that was associated, you know, with the area. I thought, I think this is enough. I think this is a lot. So let's finish. Do you know what? I know exactly where I'm going to finish. I'm going to stand right in between your eyes. So I hope you like this build. I hope you like this video. Um, yes, I've been the Irate Sloth, obviously, as always. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.